Hey everybody, what's going on? We are here with a general and timeless reading. Alright, the first card we have out is the Star and the Ace of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck. Okay. I'm seeing the Star, I'm seeing Strength, I'm also seeing the Four of Cups, Justice on the bottom. Okay, having Star and having the Strength is about really holding tight to a vision that you have of your idea of like what's right for you. So this can be where you see yourself, where you don't see yourself, what you want to be involved in, what feels genuine to you, and also knowing what's not aligned and knowing what's not resonating with you. And it looks like something may be happening that where like something is coming through that feels opposite to you. It feels polar to you. Meaning this would reinforce like, oh, I'm not feeling that, so I'm going to go this way. It's something like that, but you may have to turn something down actively, it feels, in order to not engage with something. For some of you, this is a social situation. Okay, so we have the Star, Strength, Four of Cups, Ace of Swords, Three of Cups, yeah, it feels like something that you're not into. Or maybe something you don't want to be involved in. This can even be a certain person that you're like, maybe not wanting to connect with. Only because there would be some sort of clashing. Yeah, it looks like you have something else that you're working on over here. This feels like something more serious. What's going on over here feels like something more casual. That maybe you're at a spot where you're like, I don't really have time for that, or I don't feel super enthusiastic about participating in that. I'm seeing the Eight of Pentacles and I'm seeing the Lovers, so whether this be a person or a thing that you're doing, this means that you're really tending to what you care for, because the Lovers is like what you love and maybe making a choice about a relationship or doing what you love, but it seems like something that you've been doing. Like I'm seeing this not be something that you're starting this right now. This is something that you've been working at because we have the Eight of Pentacles here. So it's like a labor of love. And something that you want to pour your energy into. To have Four of Cups and to have Ten of Cups, there can be something coming through where when you look at it, you're like, I don't feel like that's aligned for me right now. I want to say this too. Sometimes we have something that comes in and we get to a point where just in a moment it may not be resonating with us. That doesn't mean it's not always going to resonate with you. Like maybe later down the line, you'll like want to hang out with this person or you'll want to engage in whatever this is. But for right now, you may be in a spot where you have something else going on that you'd rather tend to, because that's just where you'd rather be, you know? And it seems like maybe bringing that to somebody's attention, because I feel like you're involved in something or somebody is like asking you to be a part of something or trying to get you involved in something, and you're looking at this and being like, I want to be over here more. And so it feels like a choice needs to be made of, like, I'm prioritizing what I want here. Like, making this choice for yourself rather than doing it just to people please. But it may be, you may get pressure from this person or from these people. That may be part of the reason that it may not be the easiest to turn down. We have Aquarius, Leo, and Gemini here. And Virgo. I'm seeing Libra on the bottom of the deck again. You're working on something, a relationship of some sort. I'm seeing it be happy, but I'm also seeing it be a lot sometimes. Like, something just feels extra. And I'm getting you looking into maybe why that is. Like, maybe looking for an answer. It may be becoming more clear to you that something isn't, like, potentially not resonating with you anymore. But maybe this is, like, a hard truth. One of those moments where it's like, I wish that I were more into this, but I'm not really. Just something about it. Something just feels off here. As I said before, this may just be like where you are right now, you know? That doesn't mean that you're always going to feel like this, but it's about honoring how you feel right now, because that's all we have, just this moment. Yeah, I'm seeing something becoming stressful, and maybe that feels unnecessary for you. And I do feel, again, like this is tied to something more casual. So why would something casual or that's supposed to be fun be stressful? Something like that. It, again, seems like a social thing. Yeah, I feel like these two things in your life are beginning to intersect, and you may be realizing that they're not compatible currently. Because over here, I am seeing you working on something that you definitely are, like, into this. What you have going on over here is something that you've already, like, invested in or already been, like, working on for quite some time, or, like, given a lot of your energy, and something that's still, like, thriving connection-wise to you, where you're like, I do feel grounded within that connection. And it's something that you care about, and it's about, like, sticking with this thing that you care about over here. Six of Cups. I'm seeing some crossover. I'm just trying to... There's, like, an overlapping of energy where I'm trying to see, like, where one ends and the other begins as far as what's going on. But this feels like maybe multiple areas of your life right now that are intersecting. So something's happening quickly over here. To have... If I, like, threw away the rest of the spread and I was just looking at these cards down here, it looks like there's potentially, like, you doing something, like, maybe new or a different way, but there's also something familiar within this, whether this be a person or this is, like, getting back to a hobby that you used to do or something you used to be interested in. Like, Six of Cups is generally connected with nostalgia or our past, or something that's, like, reminiscent of childhood or formative years. So it feels like you're getting back into something that you probably used to be into or that you used to do. And now I'm seeing there be sort of this, like, analysis. So maybe not doing something automatically, but being more purposeful and deliberate. Because I'm seeing you thinking something over here. And it does feel like you're trying to get some sort of answer and not fall trapped to something that you don't want to give your power away to. King of Cups and the Devil. It's like not wanting to fall back into something that you may already know is kind of like a vice of yours, so to speak. I feel maybe like an old pattern was starting to arise, or that you began recognizing something and you were like, I don't want to give away my power to that. Like, whenever I see the King of Cups and the Devil, King of Cups is somebody that knows how to, like, not impulsively give into the whims of their emotions. So it's like, King of Cups can be feeling the wildest things and be like, okay, like, that's what we're doing right now. That's what I'm feeling. But they're not going to make a move that they would later be like, I regretted that. It was like really impulsive. It reminds me of like the opposite of an Aries energy. Like archetypally, when we think of Aries, it's the first zodiac and it's ruled by Mars, and so there's needing to like respond very quickly. When I see the King of Cups, I think of the opposite of that, where it's more just like, I'll sit with this a little bit longer before I make a choice. Like, I'm just gonna sort of observe what's going on and not need to do anything about it. It's like a more laid back, sort of like rolling with the punches and the waves energy, and not losing your head over anything. And I feel like that's the best card to embrace the Devil, because the Devil will come through and tempt you in a moment where if you're not practicing that like inner grit, it's something that you're more than likely going to give into because the pressure just gets too much, or like the temptation is too much and it like arises within us. And King of Cups would look at that and be like, oh, I'm feeling tempted right now, or I'm feeling really impulsive, but I'm still not going to act on it. So that's why I feel like it's the best card to assuage that sort of thing. But that's also what you're going to need to step into in order to do this. I'm seeing you just need to look at something rather than reacting to it. Because I'm seeing you already know that something, having King of Cups and the Devil, and then on the bottom of the deck I'm seeing Seven of Swords. This is something that would be tempting, but it's like your shadow whispering in your ear where you're like, I recognize that voice. I know where this is coming from. So you like know better and you can do better. I'm seeing too with the King of Cups, because this says like you have the capacity to step into that energy, and if you are practicing that, this is not something that's going to get the upper hand. You'll remain having the upper hand within this situation. But yeah, it could be something tempting, trying to like lure you back in to something that may feel good in a moment or immediately, but then long term you're going to be like, I'm trapped again and now I have to like dig myself out of this, you know. It seems like it's about like not going back. For some of you, this is about like not going back to an ex or something, or not going back to like an old friend or like somebody that you used to know. But it can also be like a past version of yourself as well that resonated with that old energy that you have grown out of, that maybe because of something that's going on, it can feel like it's bringing that back up for you. For some of you, I'm seeing the Leo, Gemini energy be associated with this. Virgo, Capricorn. I feel like this, you are very far as the progress that you've been making. And there may be something new that you want to do, or something right now that is speaking to you. And I'm getting that there may be like an expired route that you feel somewhat tempted to travel back on. But I'm getting that this would be in the disinterest of your like long-term happiness. So it's something that can be, okay, let's just use an example. Let's say that you're at this point now in your journey where you want to start like a particular type of project or a new project, and you're like, oh, that person that I used to collaborate with, like I feel tempted to create with them again, but it was a situation that you felt like hindered your growth in a way, so you don't want to get involved with them again. But then there's that part of you that's like, oh, but it was like so easy and familiar with them, but there are also things that felt unhealthy about the dynamic, and it's not really something that I'm trying to recreate again with them. Or this could be a situation with like somebody that you used to know in some way, where you're like, I'm looking for like a new relationship within my life, and they keep coming to mind, but I am seeing the Four of Cups and I'm seeing the Ten of Cups here, which would mean that you may feel tempted because you do have a connection with this person for sure, but I'm seeing you be guided not to dig that up with them. And it's not going to feel like the easiest thing, because I'm seeing that for some of you, the relationship aspects of the relationship were easy with this person. It feels like maybe one of those relationships where the chemistry is very easy, but other things going on may have not been the best situation. And I'm getting that this will also, if you did go back into this, it would like tamper with what you have going on. And now you're moving into a space where you're like, no, I feel like I'm seeing clearly. But it could have been one of those moments where you sort of like default into something old and familiar that you've grown out of, that you were like reminiscing on this, because I'm seeing something kind of nostalgic popping up, but also you can engage in it, but you don't need to act on it or do anything about it. Because I'm seeing it, again, be... it wouldn't be accomplishing what you want to accomplish long term. And you know that. But I'm seeing it kind of be maybe a heavy truth. And I'm also getting your guides be like, remember what was going on within the relationship. There's something about, regardless of what type of relationship, remembering what it was like socially with this person and within your friendship. Because, you know, you can like date somebody and you're still friends with them, you know, and maybe this isn't about what it was like when you were dating them, but more so like what was the friendship aspect about, or like something like that. Let's use an example again. Let's say that you're thinking about collaborating with somebody that you used to collaborate with, but you guys deliberately like went your separate ways. You may be thinking like how easy it was to create with them, and how you just had that chemistry, like when you mixed things together, and how you guys had like ideas bouncing off of one another. And that really like was something fruitful for you. But then you're like, yeah, but they weren't a good friend, you know, like this happened, or I felt like they didn't have my back. And I felt like I couldn't trust them, you know, stuff like that. Or I felt like we just went into a territory that it really felt unhealthy to me, the dynamic that I had with that person. So I'm getting like that's what you're meant to be remembering, not just the nostalgic things where you're remembering only the happy stuff that may be currently what's coming back for you in mind. Because it feels like a moment where you're being tempted potentially, but I'm getting this is just a wave. Like it's gonna rise and it's gonna recede again. And I'm getting that when this like impulse recedes, if you don't give into this, you're gonna be like, I'm so glad. You know, it's like when it's late at night and you're like, maybe I should call them, and then you don't end up calling them, and you wake up the next morning and you're like, I'm so glad that I didn't call them. It's one of those moments here. Because I'm definitely seeing something where like you sort of know better, but like the nostalgia may be really real within this situation, and like you're really remembering that, like I'm getting the really like colorful times, whatever that may mean to you. Something that would just like really draw you in, like maybe some really like vivid memory or like thoughts that you're having. But usually when something like this is popping up, it's because like you're about to have something new that's coming through, and the way that the energy works, it's like, do you really not want to go that old way? Like, is that really an expired route for sure? and then it's going to have to create like another route for you. So this means that you're about to be exploring something new. But you know, right before that, we can get nervous and sort of like go back to where we were before, like recede in some type of way. That can definitely be a feeling that's coming up for you. But it feels like it's going to be like a full stop ending to something, and that something new is going to be beginning. But your guides are like, are you sure you don't want to go this other way? Like the universal energy, are you sure you learned that lesson? Do we need to repeat it, or are you ready for like a new arena? And basically that's what's happening. So it feels like a bit of a transitionary space where you want something new coming in and you're like tempted to go back, but I'm getting that if you just keep moving forward, like something is going to be coming through, okay? Yeah, you just need to be patient waiting for it. That can be the thing too. There can be something that you know that you want to like embrace or integrate or get started, or something you want to be experiencing, and it's taking a little bit of time to manifest, and you know that you could easily like bring somebody back. But there's a reason that it's in the past. So the advice is just to leave it there, but you can do whatever you want. All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everybody for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I'm wishing everybody love and light and healing, and I hope to catch you guys next time.